Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAA, man, Daalight TV. Back at y'all with another video. Make sure you violate that like subscribe button like Africa Bambaataa violated Hassan Campbell. No, this video has nothing to do with Hassan Campbell. I'm just an asshole like that. Yeah, but hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content, Daalight TV. Let's get into it. So I was scrolling through, my feed on YouTube, and I came across a video on 9mag. I'm pretty sure everybody on YouTube know about 9mag TV. Shout out to them. Benzino says he wants to put hands on 50 Cent. And y'all know anything or whatever that like goes or gets fired 50's way had the potential to turn into a viral moment or whatever and shit. And I fuck with Five, so naturally I want to see what the hoopla is about. So let's see what the artist formerly known as Puppy Clown here gotta say. You feel me? Let's get into it. Hold up. Benzino. This nigga be looking crazy, bro. Hold up. You put him on a big joint.
Before I start, I noticed, right, with the internet, you got a lot of different groups of people, rappers, artists, or whoever, influencers. So it's like not everybody's the same. Everybody's in their own group. I noticed Curtis Jackson's group of people are usually niggas who it just seems like a lot of these, like, y'all is following a nigga who got blammed up 9 times and didn't do shit about it. Then at the Hit Factory, the Ink thumps up on him and Tony Yayo, and he makes statements, which is his signature, made statements about what happened. Now, with me talking about this, I want a lot of people to realize, and a lot of the younger guys to listen to what I'm saying. Me, I got a big heart. A lot of things that I've done for people were my own fault because I ended up doing shit for the wrong people. These motherfuckers would just walk over my dead body, step on me if they had a chance, right? In the situation with my nephew and Curtis, they're kind of alike. Like I helped both of them, and then years later they kind of stabbed me in the back. First with Curtis. We'll start with Curtis since he likes posting things. You know what I'm saying? When he was at the Hit Factory, and I've told the story before, but it kind of means something now, right? Curtis ran down to my studio session not even a half a block down. And I actually helped his ass. He showed me where he got poked up, and I actually helped him and sent him on his way to the hospital, called him a car service, because he didn't have any money, I don't think, on him. How else was he gonna get to the hospital? He showed me where he got poked up. He showed me that Tony Yayo drop with when Black Child lumped him up with no in it. Me, the big heart that I have, the cancer in me, said, come on, you know what? Let me help you out. And I helped him out. Now, years later, he keeps trying to, what a lot of people been trying to put a stain on my name and on my reputation, and you can't do it. The gender thing didn't work. The shit didn't work. None of that works.
A stain on your name? Not for nothing, my nigga. In my opinion, from my era coming up, you had a stain on your name from the moment that you tried to rap. I don't know what the niggas in the industry told you because you was up there at the source and niggas wanted to get, they coverage and they advertisement space and they covers and all that, you know. And you wasn't even the brains behind that. You were Dave May's cultural passport. You feel me? And once you was in there and that shit blew up or whatever, and everybody wanted to be associated with the source, you basically used that shit, you know what I mean, to get niggas to collaborate with you on these like lukewarm to subpar ass records. And then you I guess you called yourself or whatever, you helped him. My nigga, like, for one, the whole shit about the Hit Factory, like, this shit had been debunked so many times. It's even been debunked or whatever by people who don't even like 50. So when that whole shit happened, like, first of all, you heard Black Child tell the story. Black Child told the story about the studio shit in the beef shit, right? He said when they ran up in there, all they heard was, yo, get the guns. The G Unit. So now it's like he trying to scramble. He said he hit the lights. He said he had a little state night. So you ain't poke nobody up that bad or whatever. Trust me, bro. Like, I used to play with them blades and shit. Like, you ain't poke nobody that bad with like one of them little, I know the type of state night shit he probably talking about. Little joint that be wrapped up in the napkin with your thing. That boy had a scratch. You know what I mean? And the person or whatever and shit, the person who gave a statement was the motherfucker the engineer, because he got fucked up too in the Rumble. Like, you know what I mean? So now, he ain't into all that shit. He's probably some white boy too. Especially like, cause in them big studios, it'd be, I don't know. But anyway, nigga, so if you had to think about it like this, right? Something just popped off in the Hit Factory or whatever. Y'all up in there. Y'all got guns. Y'all know what a gun charge in New York could get you. 3.5. Like, you going to prison on your first offense playing around out here. So the whole crazy thing about it is, like, naturally you're going to get the hell up out of there, bro. It's the Hit Factory. The police are coming. You feel me? Now, he probably just ran into another studio. Who knows what got left in there, all kind of shit, whatever. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, even to the whole shit of him getting shot and not doing nothing, my nigga, y'all gotta understand the connection here. 50, E-Bag, Troy, Green Eye Born or whatever, that is one unit collectively pushing the line on Preem. It practically unified the north and south side of Queens. I covered this in the E-Money Bag story. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing, whatever you trying to, like, it's like you trying to get the nigga to admit that he did something that could get him jammed up right now. Is what you seem like you're trying to do. And whatever, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to give a statement right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, keep going though. Like your nephew, that the one that shot you at the funeral? I'm just saying.
I've never even met that gender. Never was even in the same room. We shot a movie together. The director gave the gender my number. They edited the conversations. Never even hooked up, never seen nothing. I have a history of dealing with beautiful women my entire life. The woman I'm with now is amazingly.
Hold up. He said, let's go back. Hold on. He said he never met the trans. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
Never even met that gender. Never was even in the same room. We shot a movie together. The director gave the gender my number. They edited the conversations. Never even hooked up.
Hold up. Okay. Flag on the play. You said, I don't know the transformer, but You know, I don't know the Transformer, never met the Transformer. We were in a movie, we've never been in the same room with him. We were in a movie together. The director gave the Transformer my number. And they edited the conversation. Come on, bro. This sounds like that Young Buck shit.
I've seen nothing. I have a history of dealing with beautiful women my entire life.
Beard.
The woman is like Curtis. He seemed like that. Always been insecure, not always that on the side looking like at the other niggas who be getting the bitches. See, I didn't grow up fly hustling, but if you fucked with me, I'd take your head off. But I wasn't out there being people. And I ran with a big crew that still fuck with me today. Free my brother Porky, free Trev, free Hoodball.
That's not, nah, nigga. Nah, you wanted to, yo, you the funny, this nigga Benzino's a funny nigga, bro. You bullied all of them niggas
So
into doing your record.
That street shit, I did it all. So I don't worry about that. I'm 60 years old now. It's supposed to be a new path. But this keeps posting stupid shit about me, like, and I'm like, what's his preoccupation? What's his a nigga that actually helped you out? This is how you treat him? Because like I said, we can get in the ring and I'll beat your ass, Curtis. Yeah. Me and you could get in the ring for that money. 3 rounds. I'll whoop you. You big and sloppy and too stiff. And I don't believe all that Golden Glove shit. All right, we're going to put that to the side. Mayweather, holler at me. Believe me. I'll be his Huckleberry. All right. We're going to talk.
Hey, yo, I know you lying. I know you lying. Hey, look, bro. You can believe what you want to believe. You understand what I'm saying? This is the guy that held down the intersection of 134th and Godboard, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? No small feat. That is major. That's a major little territory or whatever to be having niggas out there doing your business. You understand what I'm saying? But you just sit here and act like, first of all, bro, how long would that Hit Factory thing, that incident is older than Get Rich or Die Trying. Get Rich or Die Trying right now is 22 years old, like 22 years ago. So because you called the nigga a cab after he got into a fight, that means that the nigga is owes you some loyalty. And then it's like this, okay, fine, you did that, but then like you sat here and tried to tear down the only nigga that ever gave him an opportunity. So it ain't about you, nigga. It's about him being loyal or whatever and shit to the whole shady aftermath situation because that's who he eating with. And if you want to make it about the white boy, a white boy brought you in, nigga. Dave Mays. So what are we talking about? This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, these niggas just be moving the goalpost all over and everything like that. And, like, they not even looking at their own side of the field. Like, it's a lot of similarities, nigga. I mean, you can't be compared to 50. Like, you know, we know the All That Show, they did their thing with the little weed and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, all right, cool. But come on, bro. It's like, you was out here manipulating motherfuckers and pushing narratives. You know, I used to fuck with P Cutter, bro. The nigga that was making all the street wars thing. Cause when I was with Rap Game, you know, like I said, we had the stop and print spot, you know what I mean, in the city and shit over on Hudson. And we were printing like the mixtape covers, and all we were asking niggas to do was just let us put the clothing line logo on the back. And we actually had Eminem wear one of our tracksuits on the cover of Vibe. You know what I'm saying? If I could find, I'm gonna try to find the person who did that photo shoot to get like the full joint, and y'all will see that shit. Cause I used to have one of the little flyer cards, but I lost that shit in another crib. But yeah, so I was like really closing around this situation. This is around the time when I was, when I first met Jimmy Henchman and the whole, thing, and I was meeting Black Rob and all this shit. So, I was outside, and the niggas I was fucking with was from Queens, you know what I'm saying? Like, and all that. So, that's what it was. But this dude right here, bro, he was doing the same shit when he was on top, and the Swords was still considered like the Bible of hip hop. So, nigga, get off the boo boo, man. Rest in peace, Pimp C. But yeah, get off the boo boo. All puns intended, boo boo.
Jesus Christ. These motherfuckers, man. Hold on.
Be sure to like.
Let's get back to the story, baby. Sun's out, sun's out. You know what I mean? All right. So they took out a bunch of loans on the house, found out. When I got to the wake, I was, I went by myself, seen my mom, closed casket. I made a decision I wasn't going to go to the funeral because of the tension. I seen her and we was filming and I was going to go back because I didn't want the rest of the family and everybody else, all this shit, all this drama to overshadow my mother's funeral. She was being buried in Plymouth. I made the decision not to go. As I'm getting ready to get on the plane the next day, which was going to be my mother's funeral, it was a Sunday, Stevie J called me. Shout out to Sleezo. Hope you're all right, my G. Ain't talked to you in a minute. So
Sleezo is crazy.
Calls me up, says, hey, I'm out here in Plymouth. Where you at? I'm like, man, I'm not going out there, bro. He's like, oh, man, I'm way out here. Plymouth is like 45 minutes from Boston. I said, stay there. I'm going to come get you. I jump in a rental. Now, mind you, I have no reason to be strapped. Sunday afternoon, 12 o'clock. I'm not thinking about nothing. I ain't got no beef in Boston. Jump in a rental. I start heading out towards Route 3. Route 3 goes to the Cape. It's it's a 2-lane highway, but it's super busy. And it's a super conservative white highway. A lot of people live down the Cape of White. You know what I'm saying? It's like the suburbs. As I'm going down there, I noticed there's a funeral procession. The cars flashing lights and everything. So I'm like, oh, shit, I wonder if this, sure enough, it was my mother's. Seen a bunch of light-skinned Cape Verdean people. I was like, yeah, this is... I'm on the left lane. The funeral procession's on the right going slow. I'm driving on the left. Next thing you know, bop, 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 bop. I'm getting hit. I got hit 3 times in my shoulder. I felt them, but I'm still driving. I did a 180, a fishtail 180, started driving back against the traffic. I couldn't drive no more because my arm kind of felt limp. I kept breathing and feeling my chest because I've been shot before. I wanted to make sure that, nothing hit my chest. Once I knew that my breathing was good and everything, I jumped out that bitch and started running. As I'm running, I run towards the hearse. And this is a true story. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear on my mother's soul this shit happened. I can't even believe it happened. As I run, I go towards the hearse, and all I seen, because it has the old school locks, I just seen the finger pressed down on the lock of the front of the hearse, because there was 2 hearses. Of course, one had my mother's coffin. It had to be. So then I ran down a couple other cars, and then 2 of my cousins, Auntie Geneva, God rest her soul, I jumped in the back of their car. They're screaming like a motherfucker. I said, you got to drive over the medium, get me out of here, because, I'm losing a lot of blood. They drove over the medium, and we're going down here. Now, at that time, my nephew never been locked up, never had he wasn't a street kid. I raised him. He was a DJ. Now, I raised him. You could see in videos, I was proud. That was my first nephew. I loved him to death. My nephew was the first one to call police. He was the first one to get on the phone and said, I just shot a man, because come to find out, he had 3 and he had licenses for all of them. I didn't even know he had licenses. He called the police first. All right, this is the shit that nobody said. This is the shit that these is at the podcast. Everybody just wants to try to get a story, clicks and comments, and trying to stain somebody's name. Don't even know what the fuck they talking about. He called the police first. The first one, the very first one to call police. Now, mind you, this is about 1 o'clock, broad daylight. Cars, 100 people seen it. Everybody's seen it. He told the police that I had a, and I pointed it at him, that I'm Benzino. Now in Boston, I got a bad reputation. Bad reputation. The police been trying to fuck me over for years. My whole family, my father, my brothers, just it is what it is. City. You know what I'm saying? I love my people. I love the hood.
Now remember he was just saying that I ain't never been the guy to run around bullying people. I've never the big tough guy and all that other shit. He just sat here and said he got a crazy like reputation or whatever in Boston. Which one is it, bro?
But the power structure, I can't fuck with them. Man, I love the sports teams. Which, by the way, the Celtics will beat the shit out the Knicks tonight. But let's get back on point. He called the police first. I know you lied.
Are you mad?
When we finally get off the exit, I'm bleeding like a motherfucker, getting ready to pass out, blood all on the back of the car. The police pull us over, state troopers.
Hey, could this drop like 10 hours ago? So I'm assuming it was like before, you know what I mean? Like the day before, probably like when game 2 aired. Hey, yo, nothing in this video or whatever is going your way, nigga. Oh man, hindsight 2020, man. I love this view. Yeah, Nick set, nigga. Dipset, Nick set, nigga. What's up? But yeah, let me go. I had a moment.
As soon as we get off the exit, I think it was the Pembroke exit. They took me out the back of the car and stripped me out and everything. You keep bleeding. They said, where's I think that it was Driscoll. Now Driscoll's whole family, if y'all know the Driscolls up in Boston, y'all know them some dirty motherfuckers. All right. He said, yeah, your nephew said you had a. Your nephew said that you were shooting at him. Your nephew said this. And I said, no, he me. So what the fuck are you talking about? He said, because like at this point, it's just a lot of chaos. They're screaming, yelling, where's your nephew? I said, no, he's me. I said, I mean, it's broad daylight. And plus, like, I've been around enough to know that whatever you say right then and there that don't matter when it comes to snitching. It matters in the grand jury and in the courtroom. So now, the ambulance came. I get in the ambulance. They're still asking me, where's.
That's where I'm gonna correct you, Playboy. When they Mirandize you and you're being arrested, they tell you anything that you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. For them to be searching you, shot and all, you understand what I'm saying? Meaning that they are identifying you initially as the suspect. Now, whatever conclusion they came to at the end of it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, like that's how that go. You know what I mean? So all that shit does matter. Like, you know what I mean?
He said that you Adam was hip hop cameras. I had a connection in there at the hospital. You know, it's Boston, but I'm in Quincy Hospital. So they came, they and everything. More detectives came. They said, look, you know what I'm saying? You know, he called, he said you had it. And that's the reason he shot you and everything. So really, how the could I snitch when he was the first one that called them and said that the first one, before any statement that I made anything, he said, shot me. Let's make that clear. All right. Months go by. It's time for the grand jury. Now the grand jury is going to be the jury that got picked to see that if he's going to get charged with attempted. In Boston, anything over the waist attempted, anything below the waist assault with a dangerous weapon. Above the waist is 15 years and up. Everybody knows that. We get to the grand jury. True. They ask me, do you know who? I said, nah, I don't know who shot me. Now that's in the paperwork. The grand jury, you can go get the paperwork. They said, nah, I don't. I said, I don't know who shot me. I said, I was dizzy. I was fucked up. But you said this. I said, I don't know what I was saying. I was panicking. I was blanking out. I was saying anything. I was in the ambulance. I said anything. I was in the hospital. I was under medication. I was saying anything.
All right. So that was a little more about clearing up the story of Benzino thing. Now, I haven't seen the paperwork, but from what he described, as much as I don't like Benzino, and like I told y'all, even if I don't like rock with somebody, or I think somebody kind of gang goofy, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Now, that from what I've always heard and what I've heard in the reports, like, the news when that shit first happened, I thought it was his aunt funeral. I didn't even know it was mom's shit. Like, that's crazy. Like, you wasn't even gonna go to your mom's funeral. Like, how bad would the family be? Jesus. But nigga, I can see that going down like that. Like, 'cause that's how they kind of described it in the news and shit. Now, here's what I'll say. I've seen a lot of people like, because I mean, bro, you shot, like, you know what I mean? So you in a state of shock or whatever. Like, imagine being shot and they're trying to arrest you. They're searching you for a gun and you're bleeding, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I gotta give them some leg room there and shit. Like, that's a crazy situation to be in. Like, you trying to get to the hospital before you die. They're trying to like search you and see if you got, the gun. Now, the fact is, the police or whatever and shit did, like in the report it said, that like the nephew reported that he had a gun, like self-defense type shit. Like, like 'cause that was, their whole defense. You know what I mean? Now, uh naturally the grand jury process, like happens, and any evidence that they have initially, to proceed with an investigation and furthermore an indictment, uh, like they had to be presented. So naturally, what Benzino being classified or will now be classified as what they call a complaining witness. If the complaining witness gets up there and says, I don't know who shot me, like, because I'd always said it, like, yo, if I got shot, it's like, yo, who shot you? I don't know. I was busy getting shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and like he played it the best he could. Like, you know what I mean? Now, like I said, I haven't seen the transcript, but if it went like that, bro, like I wouldn't call him, I wouldn't say that he was a snitch or whatever and shit, because when he got in front of the grand jury, he did what he was supposed to do and shit. You know what I mean? So in that regard or whatever, yeah, I can see where he said that doesn't mean anything, because if you go and deny what you said and then you give a reason like, yo, I was dizzy, delirious, losing blood, all that, I'm at my mother's funeral. Like, yo, bro, you got shot at your mother's funeral. Then by your nephew. And then like when the police show up, like they're searching you for a gun. Like, instead of trying to get you to the hospital or whatever before you bleed out, like they patting you down, like, where's the gun? Like, you know what I mean? So that's a crazy like situation, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So when you start saying like, yo, no, 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 like, you know what I mean? I'm the one, I got shot. Like, I can't really knock a nigga for that. You know what I mean? And if he went up there to the grand jury or whatever and said that he doesn't remember who shot him, and then he denies what he said, and he says that, he gives his excuse, then, I ain't gonna, he a goofy, but I ain't gonna call him a rat. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. You know what I mean? Hit that like and subscribe button if you're still here. Smash that notification bell if you're mobbing with the content. And as always, stay dangerous so you can be safe. It's your boy Daalight, Daalight TV. I'm out.